Brothers and sisters, I hope this Feast of the Transfiguration transfigures and transforms your own faith. In fact, this is what happens when Peter, James, and John go up on the mountain and they see Jesus revealed. This is pretty big news that everyone was waiting for, to see Jesus, this man who's been going around curing people, proclaiming the gospel, doing marvelous miracles. But he's not just a good miracle worker. It turns out they hear the voice from the heavens say, "This is the Son of God. This is my own beloved Son. Listen to him." And you think about all the many ways in which you and I come to church, come to experience these great mountaintop moments of our own faith, where God seems to pull us aside and tell us, "I'm the Son of God. I'm revealing just a little bit more of who I am to you." And maybe it lifts up your heart and your soul. Maybe you've had that happen to you, where your heart and your mind and your soul are just lifted up in a way that you've never experienced before. It pulls you down deeper into your faith, makes you want to dwell there forever. And then Jesus almost seems to say, this is just a moment. So hold on to it, but don't tell anyone else about it yet. And why is that? Because, friends, there's more that God desires to reveal to us. And it can't happen in a mountaintop moment. It must take root when? Until Jesus is raised from the dead, which means until he's on the cross. And this is strange for us, but I think we come to experience it when there's a mountaintop moment of our own faith that passes, and then it's like God calls us to maybe the cross in our own life, to remind us that when God desires to reveal to us how much he loves us, it reveals to us that when God shows his love, he does it by dying on the cross. He does it by laying down his life for us, for his enemies, for the people that didn't believe why he came to earth and was doing all of these great, marvelous miracles. And of course, as we come to the altar and we believe in our Christian faith that we receive his body and blood, how much more then are we, brothers and sisters, called to do the same thing that God does, which is really hard, to die on the cross for our families, to die and to lay down our lives for our enemies, or that pesky coworker that you just can't stand, or the person in your life that you can't handle right now, or you don't know why they tick the way that they do and it irritates you. To that person, Jesus has died for the salvation and the forgiveness of their sins. How much more are we, who are living, embodied persons of Jesus Christ, by receiving his body and blood, called to die for that same person? And friends, that's not just a good transfiguration mountaintop moment. That's the real work, when the Son of God reveals to you just a little bit deeper what it means to be a son or daughter of God. And it's something that we all understand, is that we can't sacrifice for the ones that we love so dearly, or for our enemies. We can't reconcile. And that's okay, because we have a Son of God who does. And he does the heavy lifting for us. You see, every time we come to the altar and the priest raises the body and blood of Christ and we receive him, we proclaim that his sacrifice for us helps me to make my own sacrifice, helps me to lay down my life for someone else in a way that I couldn't before. But I can't do it alone. I need Jesus, who's not just a good miracle worker, but he's the Son of God. And see, he came down to us and revealed to us that God's love is in the form of two wooden planks that crucify love, that mold it and shape it into something that's godly, into something that's able to be holy. And friends, aren't there so many people in our lives that need to hear this message, this gospel message, that I can't sacrifice. And so I need Jesus' sacrifice to help me to do it. See, he does the heavy lifting for me and invites me to share in his sacrifice so that other people can experience this salvation of a God who heals us from our sinfulness, from all the violence and the death that we look out into the world and we say, "Where are you, God?" Or to those addictions that we can't shake, those things in our life that we can't overcome. You see, we have a Son of God who's eternally loved by the Father, who does that for us and invites us to share in his sacrifice. And so when you see the priest and hear him say, "Lift up your hearts," because this will happen at Mass. Lift up your hearts. And the response is, we lift them up to the Lord. Envision holding in your hand this broken yet still beating heart of yours. And to say, "Take this, Lord, as the memorial of your sacrifice. Help me to share in what you've done for me so that I can have some share in the hope of the resurrection that comes from that." Because it's not just painful, the cross. There's the light at the end. But friends, you and I have to come before Jesus and offer ourselves. That's why we're here. And so can we do that? Amen? Amen. Friends, this is our mission now and always, to offer ourselves alongside Jesus, to lay down our lives for those around us so that they can experience the salvation that doesn't come from us. It comes from the beloved Son of God, Jesus Christ. Amen.